Having with us Bill Pito along with Wally Zerbiak. So it's a wire-to-wire win for the Knicks. They were up by 24 in the first half. Lead shrunk to 10 at the half, and then the Knicks blew Portland off the court in the second half. And the defense now, for the last 5 games, Wally, they've held the opposition to under 100 points.
And the home court dominance that we saw at the beginning of the season, it's back. This team is getting back to playing the way they're capable of playing, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Teams are going to go through struggles. We're seeing Oklahoma City lose 3 out of 4. Knicks had a tough stretch after the NBA Cup. They kind of figured things out. They went back into the lab. Coach Mike Brown let the guys kind of realize we got to get after it on defense, and this team is scary when they play like this on D.
The turnabout on defense has been dramatic. So the Knicks went up by 24. And then you're like, you know, there's always these lulls a lot of times in these NBA games.
The panic Pito.
No. Actually, no. I'm like, all right.
Oh, no?
Portland's within 10, but they
right.
got within 8, then I got panicked. No. And then the Knicks ran away with it in second half. How do you explain the ebb and the flow there?
Well, listen, the other team's not trying to lose, all right? They have NBA players, too. So when they're down 25, they're trying to get themselves back in the game. You know, Shaedon Sharpe got going. The Knicks kind of changed up their lineup a little bit. And momentum is something that we see swing when teams are making threes. Shaedon Sharpe had 17 in the first half. He made a couple threes. But I remember always in the huddles, our coaches, our players, our leaders would always say, they made their run, now we make ours. And that's exactly what the Knicks did. Portland made a run at them, but the Knicks in the second half to start, especially the third quarter, they made their second run and put them away.
Knicks won the second half, 68-48.
Yeah, you like that number. That's a plus 20. You're going to challenge Josh Hart to shoot that wide open 3. Well, he's a 40% three-point shooter now. Why are you daring him to shoot, NBA? The guy is knocking him down at a high percentage. Crazy 8, OG Anunoby goes for a big game, 24 points, bunch of dunks, bunch of threes. Jalen Brunson, anytime the Knicks needed a bucket and it felt like maybe Portland was making a run to get back in the game, he would slam the door with a big shot. That play at the end of the third quarter was awesome. The way Mikal Bridges got that little bucket up at the buzzer. And then Karl Anthony Towns was quiet, scoring most of the game, but hit a couple big shots in the fourth quarter that helped extend the lead. How about Tyler Kolek? Stroking that 3, coming in, was running the offense perfectly. Couple nice dimes today by Karl Anthony Towns, especially to OG Anunoby. He can really pass. And then OG, the aggressiveness was there. I mean, he was looking to score. He took over this game in the second half with his athleticism, with his cutting and his shooting. That was an impressive performance by Crazy 8.
Look at the Knicks from downtown, 19 out of 45. You mentioned Cat with 14 points, 20 rebounds. So he goes back-to-back games with at least 20 rebounds, on the 16th time in Knicks history that anybody's been able to do that. Kolek had 13 off the bench. Diawara had 10 off the bench, and the Knicks cruised by 30. Here now with OG Anunoby. OG, thanks so much for stopping by. You guys got out to an early 24-point lead. It was a wire-to-wire win. How'd you do it tonight?
Just coming out, you know, doing the things we work on in practice and execute on the floor. You know, they're a great team, very talented. So just emphasis on getting stops and running out and sharing the ball.
For the last 5 games, you guys have held the opposition to under 100 points. Why has the defense improved so much here in the last handful of games?
Just improved communication. You know, it's a long season, so you're going to go through ups and downs. But just, you know, after our recent, little slump, you know, just focusing on communication and just executing what we go through. You know, Coach BOC is a great defensive coach, and just going and executing what he says.
Talking about defensive coordinator Brendan O'Connor. How about you holding Denny Advia totally in check? I mean, he totally nullified his offensive game tonight. How'd you do it?
I mean, he's a great player, so just, you know, trying to be aggressive, trying to make him more comfortable. And then also it's a team effort, I would say, you know. I mean, Kat was big time, Mikal, Josh, Mitch behind me. It was a team effort, I would say. You know, it's a team effort when you're guarding a great player like that.
All right, OG, thanks so much for stopping by. Congrats on another great game.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a look at Anunoby. Avdia, by the way, tied a season low with 11 points, shot only 4 out of 14. And Anunoby, back-to-back games now at least 20 points.
Yeah, looking really aggressive, showing the complete arsenal, scoring in a lot of different ways, zero hesitation. And what I love about his game is the dunks. When he puts pressure on the rim, that's when you get yourself into rhythm.
That's changed here in the last handful of weeks. Going to the basket much more than he has in the past, yes?
A little bit. It's just being a part of the offense where you're getting multiple stops, so he's really good in transition. Also, his cutting is elite, so as the season goes along, you get more and more comfortable with the offense. You figure out, how to get on the same page with your teammates and steal some dunks and some easy points. And once you do that, as a wing player, as a secondary scorer, that's when the threes start to flow. That's when you get aggressive and start knocking down those shots. 4 for 8 from the three-point line. It was just an impressive overall performance because you always know the defense is there, locking down Devin Avdia. He's going to be an all-star out in the West. He's having a great year, and OG really locked him down.
All right, Wally, let us say hello to Monica McNutt. As always, she helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, all good tonight from start to finish pretty much.
That was fun. Yeah, I got all these great notes from our statistician, Doug Midler. We've called them Duggets because Doug comes up with these nuggets. You got the Knicks holding an opponent under 100 for 3 straight games for the first time since March 2024. Love that one. And then over this win streak, allowing teams to score just 90.2 points per game. And so, yeah, there's a lot that you could be really excited about in terms of what happened offensively, including OG Anunoby. And Wally, I love your use of the word rhythm because I agree with you on that observation. But also defensively, I think this team is adding deposits in terms of their accountability to one another and the communication, showing how good they can be defensively. Yes, I do acknowledge that Sunday will present a different challenge, but you still want to lay the tenets and the foundation of what you can do defensively.
Jalen Brunson, guys, was huge. 5 out of 12 from downtown. Today's thrilling moment, tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on, Wally. Brunson was on it tonight.
He came out in the first half, 19 points, 13 points in the first quarter. Really aggressive, set the tone, helped the Knicks build that 24-point lead in the first half. And then, he's just so timely with the baskets that he makes. He has a great pulse of the feel of the game. When the Knicks need a big shot, I love these 4-point plays. I mean, this just is becoming an occurrence almost nightly, the way people are getting under his feet as he's shooting those threes. And he just stays so composed despite the fact people are draped all over him. I mean, another all-star-like performance. He's going to start in the all-star game. I can't wait to watch him representing Team USA against the world team this year. I think that's the best format in the all-star game. Hopefully it works out. And just another awesome performance by Jalen tonight.
Well, I agree with that. And it's funny because the first time out in the first quarter, he had not scored. And then he went on to rattle off those 13 points, and I believe from the 5:32-ish minute mark in that first quarter. But it's just a collective poise. And I think what OG Anunoby said to you, Pito, I love the depth of this team. Yes, Jalen Brunson, number 11, your captain, your all-star, your leader, checked the boxes on all of that. But I thought the productivity up and down the roster tonight, I thought Josh Hart had a terrific night. Even Karl Anthony Towns, another monster 20-rebound performance back-to-back for him in that category. And then, of course, getting 33 points from your bench. You love to see it.
Got to mention Jalen Brunson goes over the 10,000 career point mark.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big milestone.
Yeah, big milestone for him.
Awesome.
And Josh Hart.
Congratulations.
And guys, you mentioned Josh Hart, Monica. Like Anunoby, he's gotten 2 straight games with at least 20 points. He had 20 tonight, had 22 the other night.
Josh Hart has been outstanding. Dealing with this ankle injury, just what he does for this team, the glue, and he's a sneaky good scorer. I mean, you look down at the box score every night, 20 points again. I mean, that's more than solid NBA game. He has a lot of different ways to hurt an opponent. The way he takes the ball to the basket, he has that little pull-up mid-range, and the way he's shooting the three-pointer is impressive, despite the fact teams are kind of daring him to shoot at times, but he's making them pay. And Josh Hart, very important, obviously, the glue to this team, the glue to that locker room, and just another outstanding performance, and he's really found his game in this 5-game winning streak, too.
I still giggle that he's somewhat hesitant. Shoot, having a career year percentage-wise from the three-point line, he's still somewhat hesitant when he realizes he's wide open. But I'm with you, Wally. Let that thing fly, and if defenses don't adjust, he's shown an ability to make them pay. But I think he said to Alan Hahn on the PA at postgame, he talked about this team playing fast. And I will say that of this win streak, for me, this was one of the more enjoyable games in terms of the rhythm that they found early as a team. And part of that was pushing the pace.
All right, Monica.